The men's 200-meter individual medley SM11 final is next. This will be an event in which the host nation will be expecting at least a medal. They have two very good challengers for those medals in Kimura Keiichi and Tomita Uchu. Young Bozun and Rogier Dorsman are the two who go in the center lanes, but Dorsman is the one to catch, really. Although young Bozun, never discount the experience of young Bozun, who's already proved that he can pick up medals at these championships after 15 Paralympic Games medals. He'll go in 5.
SM11 final. 男子 200m 個人メドレー SM11 決勝選手の入場です。In lane 8, representing Iceland.
Going in lane 8 for Iceland. The 21-year-old Mark Gunnarsson goes in lane 8. Wendell Benamino Pereira is very strong over 50 meters, and indeed he is the gold medalist. He goes in 1 though. Mihailo Serbin is already a champion of the men's 100 backstroke. A 17-year-old who is blossoming into a brilliant swimmer. Viktor Smirnov is already a 6-time Paralympic Games champion and a silver medalist at these games. The 35-year-old goes for Ukraine in 2. Tomita Uchu, this is his second event. The silver in his first. And a man who just missed a medal at the World Championships, finishing 4th. Also of Japan, going in lane 3, Kimura Keiichi. Multiple Paralympic Games, silver and bronze medalist, but never gold. Although world champion across free, fly and breast. Young Bozun continues to be impressive, thoroughly impressive. Men's 100-meter backstroke bronze medalist. But the man to catch is the talented Paralympic record holder and the world record holder, Rogier Dorsman. Gold in the 400 free, missed the wall in that. Missed the wall in the men's 100 backstroke, which cost him. And now for the world champion, the world record holder and the Paralympic record holder, does he live up to his billing?
I mean, you have to wonder, is he going to hit his turns in the finals? He's struggled on the wall so much here, and in order to get the timing of the turns right, his stroke count has to be right and the timing of the tap has to be right. So you know going into this that he has really practiced those turns.
So the Dutch swimmer, he's set to lead the way, world record holder, reigning world champion from London, Dorsman, fastest in 2021 this year. He's followed by Keiichi Kimura. He had his season's best in Fuji in March, and Mihailo Serbin certainly is not one to be underestimated. He's proved what a quality swimmer he can be. Smirnov, 2 European Championship medals to his name. So Bellarmino Pereira, Smirnov, Kimura, Dorsman, Young, Tomita, Serbin, Gunnarsson. Dare we say a great start from Dorsman. He has got a brilliant underwater and he comes out in front alongside him, young Bozun, but it looks to be the Japanese swimmer going in 3, Kimura, who is keeping pace and in fact now going beyond Dorsman.
Yeah, Kimura, he actually moved to the United States for a bit to train with the same coach as Brad Snyder. Brad Snyder, a previous gold medalist in this SM11 classification. So it's interesting to see how this training pays off. Now, into the backstroke for Dorsman. He had a good kick underwater heading into this backstroke. Right now, his backstroke, it looks great, it looks tight, it looks straight, good clean water entry. Kimura hugging, now he's veering a little bit. Before he was hugging that lane, that's gonna cost him a little bit. And Dorsman into the lane. Dorsman, he needs to continue hugging it and try to stay as straight as he possibly can.
This is Dorsman, arguably his strongest stroke in the backstroke. He is the peerless individual. You can see almost 5 in a line. Contesting for second at the moment, a little bit of an advance from Mikhailo Serbin, but Tomita and Young have made up some ground as Kimura has lost some undoubtedly. Dorsman touches nearly 3.5 seconds ahead at the 100 mark. The world record holder looking to extend his advantage here with the breaststroke, but he might be caught by a few, including Serbin, who's very good at the breaststroke, and Young also making up ground.
Yeah, Dorsman was actually ahead of his own world record mark at the turn going into this breaststroke, but he needs to get through this breaststroke. This is not his strongest stroke. And so you can see some of the other swimmers start to make their move, but Dorsman, he's got a phenomenal freestyle coming home.
He really does, and Rogier Dorsman has got through the breaststroke and he's well and truly in front. He touches in 1:45.48. He's looking good for a world record on here. He is 8 seconds ahead of Young Bozun, who touches second, and Mikhailo Serbin in third. There is Dorsman, and then everybody else challenging for a medal. The only real challenge for Dorsman is himself. He's hugging the lane rope to his right to try and keep himself a little straighter. Coming to the wall in world record time here. Surely the Dutch swimmer, who is the world record holder, the Paralympic record holder, and world champion, is going to come home to be Paralympic Games champion as he makes his debut in this event with another gold and a world record to boot. The battle for silver here is on. Serbin looks to have the advantage, and Young Bozun touches, does he? No, it's Tomita who beats him at the wall. Mikhailo Serbin, silver and bronze for Tomita as the home favorite picks up a medal and on the podium. But Dorsman, you just can't keep this man down. He got his turns right, maybe a little more speculative at the wall. It looked like his tapper was almost touching him later in an effort to cause him to go to the wall a little harder.
And look how brilliantly he comes off the blocks here. You know he was mad about that 100-meter backstroke, and so he went out hard in the fly. He immediately hit the lane line a bit, but then he started to hug it, and he stayed close to it. Fly was not his best leg, but he put in a solid fly leg, and then he came into the backstroke, one of his best here, and he really just started to take it. He pulled way ahead. He was veering a bit in the backstroke into the lane, but once he crashed, he used the crash now to correct himself and to hug the lane. Here he is into the breaststroke, and what may not be his strongest leg, he still had a great stroke. He continued to stay ahead of the rest of the pack, and then he came into the freestyle. You see the tap there. He kind of glides into the wall, but he was way ahead of world record pace. Dorsman has got to be happy with that swim after the struggles he had in the 400 and then definitely in the 100 backstroke.
To put it into perspective how good he is, he still went on to win gold in the men's 400-meter freestyle S11 despite missing the wall on a turn, gaining no pace off that wall. That's a grand bronze for Japan, as Tomita Uchu picks up a bronze. But for Netherlands, his assistant just signals to him that he can wave and acknowledge those who are applauding his performance. So the world record has gone 2:19.02, takes over a second off his world record. But amazingly, he got through his breaststroke leg without much trouble, and that really was going to be key as to whether or not he would be challenged. Ultimately, nobody came close. Mikhailo Serbin, so strong with the breaststroke and the freestyle, who was nowhere near the front after the opening two legs, at 2:27.97, almost a full 9 seconds down on Dorsman. And Tomita Uchu, he picks up his second medal of the games after a silver in the 400 free. Tomita Uchu picks up a bronze in the 200 IM. But in world record time, it is Rogier Dorsman of the Netherlands who has Brought home his second gold in world record time, 2:19.02. Third gold for Netherlands.